Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Nourhan Beyrouti. Nourhan Beyrouti is the Senior Director of Corporate Marketing and Brand at Delivery Solutions, the leading provider of last-mile delivery and fulfillment software. With over 18 years of experience, Beyrouti has worked and lived in 15 countries around the world, giving him a global perspective on branding, corporate innovation, and real estate development. Beyrouti began his career as a brand manager with Sabic in Riyadh before moving on to become the head of corporate communications at Octal Petrochemicals in Oman. He was then invited to join Naras, now Ooredoo, a mobile telecom operator, as head of branding and innovation. He relocated to Saudi Arabia to work as the head of brand experience for Mobily, the region's largest mobile operator. He also aided the Dubai government in the creation of the Dubai Plan 2021. Following that, Beyrouti worked as marketing operations and creative services lead for Majad Al Futam Holding, where he oversaw more than 25 mega shopping malls, 700 cinemas, 800 hypermarket retail stores, 21 hotels, and 3 indoor ski resorts. Prior to joining Delivery Solutions, he served as the marketing director for TMG Northwest, the Pacific Northwest fastest growing property management and HOA management firm. Well, good afternoon, Nourhan. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. I appreciate your time and jumping on. And, we just had some time behind the mic before we pressed the record button, and there was a little bit of pivot for all of us today, which is awesome. But having a guest on the show today that kind of came out of left field is just awesome. I love that. Little surprises like this is fabulous. So let's jump right into the questions here, because you got an amazing career and I want to learn more about your company. You've got quite the career as an advisor. You've been in marketing. Now you're the Senior Director of Corporate Marketing and Brand of Delivery Solutions. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Well, the secret to my growth is actually just listening to a lot of mentors that have guided me through this world of retail, logistics, and customer solutions. Basically, most of my career has been serving customers on so many levels. From going to the petrochemical industry, where you learn and get mentored about the product itself. I know it is industrial product, but for example, petrochemicals are key factors to producing fertilizer. And if you eat cornflakes in the morning, most of the fertilizer that actually grows the corns and all that stuff comes from petrochemical companies. So there's a key contributor to a lot of things that we take for granted or don't see on a day-to-day basis. So nobody really thinks that eating cornflakes in the morning, there's a lot of big supply chain and behind it. And it all goes to a petrochemical company somewhere, either here in the United States or Saudi Arabia. So as one of the largest petrochemical companies in the world, Sabic produces fertilizer that fertilizes most of the corn and stuff that we eat on a daily basis, and we didn't know. Even the spoon we eat comes from petrochemicals that make steel. And the water bottle is from another petrochemical company that produces PET. And they just blow air in it, and you drink water and you hydrate. So there's a lot of factors that have grown my career into multi-directional and multi-customer levels, and it just grew me. The industries just took me forward.
That's awesome, and thank you for sharing. A lot of times, this is a technology platform, and we talk a lot about different technologies, emerging tech, and some of the foundational stuff, but having a little insight into petrochemicals, like you explained, is very helpful for our audience. So thank you. So Nourhan, maybe you could tell us a bit about the B2B delivery space and your same-day delivery services. Something you could share with that, especially around that last mile, you all talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Last mile is an upcoming and a really beautiful aspect of the product reaching the customer. And there's a lot of noise out there about supply chain. But that only factors in from the factory to the warehouse, or factory to ship a docking station somewhere on a port. But when the product is delivered to the store or delivered to a distribution center, there's that last mile productivity that is really the workhorse of getting that product to the customer, because the customer at the end of the day doesn't really care how a product came in from a factory or where they source the chemicals from or the raw materials from. They just want their product at the door. So the foundation of our, let's say, the foundation of last mile is to really get the customer's hands on the product in the fastest time possible and the shortest time possible. That being said, the emerging markets and emerging technologies have kind of catalyzed that. So companies that are traditionally in the space of deliveries or parcel have branched off to give the space for gig workers and other delivery partners that do fast mile deliveries, last mile deliveries, 15-minute deliveries, and you see them all upcoming, and some of them just dropping out after a couple of years where they couldn't serve their markets. But today's aspect of putting a software layer that is a middleware in between the carrier and the brand itself is very new. So there's not a lot of players in that market, and hence why we came in. We are a 5-year-old company that has grown exponentially, and the market size also has kind of absorbed us in to really give us our hyper growth. That being said, there's a misconception about the growth and the pandemic, right? A lot of people kind of put those two together, that a lot of companies or software or last mile has been growing since the pandemic. And that is not the case. Yes, it catalyzed some of the deliveries or catalyzed most of this let's say trend, but it was not the reason this trend is growing. The reason this trend is growing is actually from the food business. And the food business, it really launched in their hyper growth, where they started delivering food in the gig workers, let's say Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash. Were the ones that kind of did the paradigm shift in consumer behavior. Basically, the thought was, if you can get me my sandwich from Subway in half an hour, you can grab me piece of clothing or that pair of jeans from this store too. So that was the aha moment where a lot of software was like, a lot of companies are like, why don't we open it up? So Uber Eats now today does not only deliver food, it delivers anything basically that you want. For you as a customer, if you order online from any retailer today, primarily you don't care if, FedEx, USPS, UPS, DoorDash, Uber, you don't care who shows up to your door. You just want the product in the fastest time possible. Hence where we come into the space. We knew we had a bet 5 years ago that all these platforms, all these carriers are going to open up beyond parcel, beyond food, beyond, let's say, specific ride sharing. They're going to open up their platforms to do multi things. And they needed a middleware where retailers can communicate to all these multi carriers at one single API or one single platform in order to issue a delivery and schedule deliveries and smart windows, and having the fact that customers can have their deliveries done same day at the hour they want at their convenience. And that really opened up the doors to delivery solutions and our growth.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I wanted to touch on that just a little bit more. You talked about the evolution of this, right? But what are you seeing as far as consumer delivery preferences and how that's evolving? Maybe you could go a little bit deeper. I know you mentioned an example of Uber Eats does more than just food, but maybe you can kind of elaborate more on that area.
Yeah, basically most of the retailers are implementing strategies to communicate delivery promises. And those promises are really what are establishing other brands from the rest. So the consumers want to have more visibility, want end-to-end, let's say, customer experiences that are end-to-end. It doesn't end at checkout. Most of, let's say, not even trending today, but let's say 60% or 70% of retailers today end the experience at checkout. Once you click checkout, you have processed the payment. It's thank you very much for your money. Now you have to deal with the delivery people that we have kind of issued to. So whether it's a single carrier or a dual sourcer, you are then going to receive a tracking number from a carrier like FedEx or or DoorDash or whatever it is. So customers are really wanting a non-abandonment process. And this also started during the payment processors. So you got to think about delivery solutions as a product. It's the payment processor of deliveries. Back in the days, you used to walk into a store, they told you, we only take, let's say, MasterCard. You want to buy, you had the intention to buy, but you had a barrier that these people don't take my Visa. So, for example, right now, if you order online, you don't know that Stripe is doing all that stuff in the background, right? They don't even mention Stripe. They just enter your credit card number and we'll tell you if it's processed. So the back end, whether it's Stripe, PayPal, or whoever the payment processor is, happens in the background. You don't really know who did that processing. You just know that it's been processed and they have taken my money. So hence comes the delivery experience. Once you abandon your people after checkout, people right now want to have that end-to-end experience. I want you to stay with me in this process until I get my delivery, where our solution on our software processes the delivery of that product. And regardless of whether it's DoorDash or Uber Eats or Lyft bringing it to your door, you don't care. But if you see a post-purchase page that is fully the brand that let's take the case of Sephora, right? So you will see a Sephora page, Sephora tracking number, Sephora driver, and Sephora post-purchase communications. So everything, even post-checkout until it is delivered, basically it's a consistent experience from end to end, from cash register or checkout to door. And that's what the trend is. So we could talk about numbers like 69% of retailers are implementing these strategies, especially on delivery promises and shipping visibility. 82% of customers surveyed want more same-day delivery or want specifically same-day delivery in their future purchases or current purchases. And, most of them are putting that into a workhorse of their omni-channel strategy.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. That really clears a lot of things up, and it tells us all how the process has evolved in just a short couple of years here. So that's very, very helpful for us. Mm-hmm. And Nourhan, last question here. We're a technology platform, so we want to, you mentioned some software in there, and we just want to, obviously you're leveraging some probably new and emerging technologies within your business there, but is there something specific you could share with us today?
For specifically the software world, it is evolving constantly. So you have to be up for the trends all the time and really see beyond, the industry behaviors and what the customer demands are. And once you kind of see those on a holistic level, the software kind of mitigates itself into tweaking itself to serve those. Once you see things like, retailers are now more prone to use their physical stores as fulfillment centers, same-day delivery becomes an easy process where you do ship from store rather than ship from warehouse. And most of customers are in between 5 to 7 miles of any type of retail brand. So why use this fulfillment center that is in Nebraska to a customer that is in California, where let's say the brand is just next door, a drive away? So software is actually helping mitigate a lot of the norms of deliveries, and as people in software or people in the SaaS world, the cloud has actually helped us a lot to deploy better and to be more efficient and to engineer better, rather than having the traditional go to these companies and install these softwares and have admin people that you need to train up. The implementation of strategy with SaaS software has become such a ubiquitous event. Whenever you have a good idea, there is a good SaaS solutions on top of that. My only advice to a lot of people that will be hearing this podcast, take it as a face value that there are no new problems in the world. Think of one new problem in the world. It probably will take you 5, 10 years to kind of think of a new problem. But today, there's no new problem in the world. Same day delivery, we solved it. Post-purchase, we solved it. Email, Gmail has solved it. Microsoft has solved it. Any type of, things that really need to evolve, there's always a solution for it. And it's always SaaS-based. So having that benchmark that there are no new problems in the world as a retailer, how do I mitigate customer needs from same-day delivery or post-purchase experiences and all that? There is a software, there is a SaaS solution out there. Whether it's one or two or many, you can always get that family of SaaS solutions to solve your current needs. And from there, you can evolve. And the trend today is all consolidation. So maybe 5 years before, people took separate pieces of software and made them all talk together with those Zapier and APIs that call each other and play nice with each other. We're taking that forefront where we're consolidating everything from same-day delivery, curbside, in-store pickup, post-purchase, shipping, and soon return under one singular platform. So if you now are a retailer and thinking, how could I solve my entire omni-channel retail experience? There's somebody that has solved it.
Thank you. I appreciate the share. We talk about emerging technology, but we're also talking about these emerging solutions. And I think what you shared today is spot on. And it's going to be really a hot topic for a topic on a podcast. So, Nourhan, it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Absolutely. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
Bye for now.